Welcome to Ptv News. I'm your host, Ronika Copes. The Kony 2012 film produced by the Invisible Children Movement has social media buzzing. The movie is based on notorious militia leader Joseph Kony, who is said to have been responsible for an unprecedented number of brutal crimes against humanity almost a decade ago. So why now are so many people concerned about this? Jenna Apfel has the story.
Kony 2012 has taken social media by storm, but do students here at LIU Post really know what Kony 2012 is?
I'm a little unsure about it because I've heard mixed stories. I've seen the big 30-minute video about how Kony has been kidnapping kids and putting into his army, and I was horrified. But then I've been watching a few other videos, actually researching into the Invisible Child program, and according to all the information I've gathered, I've heard he hasn't really been active since like 2003, 2004. So I'm really unsure what to believe.
I actually, when the video first came out, I remember seeing like someone posted it on my wall, and I'm like, oh, I guess I'll just watch it later. But then I just saw it posted like a million different times, so I ended up watching it, and it was crazy. It actually, it sounded like really life-changing stuff.
No, I didn't hear about it through Facebook, and I'm not sure if making him famous is the best way to take him down. You know, I understand bringing awareness to the situation, but by really giving this guy more attention, I'm not sure if it's the best way possible.
Some students weren't even aware of the heinous crimes of Joseph Kony. Kony 2012 is a film and campaign by Invisible Children. Its goal is to make Joseph Kony famous and bring him to justice, according to Kony2012.com. He is the world's worst criminal who took over leadership or an existing rebel group and named it the Lord's Resistance Army in 1987. Kony orders the abduction of children to become child sex slaves and child soldiers. Since 1986, Kony2012.com reports more than 30,000 children have been abducted.
That's disgusting, and that needs to be stopped ASAP.
Not too much. I know that there's a big campaign about it, and there has been a lot of speculation about it.
But has the recent mental breakdown of Jason Russell, the producer of the viral video Kony 2012, taken away from the credibility of the cause?
When you're on the sidewalk and you're acting loony and you're naked, screaming Kony 2012, I'm a little unsure about what to really believe.
And the things that he's dealing with, like the thing he's trying to accomplish, and then just I could imagine just like the stress just building up on him and making him have like a mental breakdown. But it kind of like the whole thing like ruined like the validity behind it, I feel.
I don't think it necessarily takes away from the meaning behind the Kony video, the documentary, but at the same time it does temper, it does, I don't want to say defile, but it kind of takes away from it a little bit, because it's like, how could you really believe this man, or like take him seriously rather, if he's doing all of this crazy stuff?
In the end, is Kony 2012 a life-saving documentary or scam compromised by its crazy maker? With 85 million views on YouTube, it has clearly proven its effectiveness as a viral video. For PTV, I'm Jenna Apfel.
Thanks, Jenna. Kony 2012 gained momentum through Twitter and Facebook, and now another case is sparking interest on social media. With another rally underway, the Trayvon Martin case remains front and center. Since the wake of the Martin tragedy, numerous rallies and marches have been organized demanding an arrest be made. There have been several questions surrounding this tragedy and whether the Stand Your Ground law should be overturned. So how much does LIU Post students know, and what are their feelings surrounding this case? Ashley Noble has the details.
This guy looks like he's up to no good, or he's on drugs or something. It's raining and he's just walking around looking about.
With the national debate heating up about the Trayvon Martin case in Florida, we interviewed LIU Post students and staff about what exactly they feel about this case and what they think should be done.
I know he was a 17-year-old kid who was walking in a gated neighborhood, and a community watch person came up and confronted him, and there was an argument or a fight that ensued, and he ended up shooting him and killing him.
Well, I feel like, first of all, it's not just. It's showing how America is not moving forward.
I am hoping that justice wins over for this family of this poor young man, because it sounds like an absolute travesty and tragedy into what has gone on in Florida.
It is a horrible tragedy, and I think it remains to be seen what the ramifications will be in the future about why this happened, about profiling, and about the responsibility of people in authority like that to take care of situations like this in the appropriate way.
At the heart of this story is the state of Florida's Stand Your Ground law, the National Rifle Association-backed law, which was passed in 2005. Allows suspects who invoke the Stand Your Ground policy immunity from prosecution if responding officers deem the claim of self-defense credible. Florida is one of 21 states nationwide with similar laws. Okay, so how do you feel about this going on in the laws that are down in Florida?
I think that it's very unfortunate that it's taking the police department this long to file charges against this man.
I think it's something that could have been avoided. And, there's a lot of speculation about, Mr. Zimmerman's motives, whether it was racial or whatnot. And also, there's also a lot of backlash about the law, the Stand Your Ground law in Florida. But at this time, I feel like, all the answers or all the information isn't there yet, so we can't really, judge the situation.
The kid was 17 years old, 140 pounds. Zimmerman, the shooter, was 240 pound, 28-year-old man. I mean, if you call that self-defense, then, I feel like everybody should go around just shooting each other and then saying the same thing.
I think it's terrible that community patrol people can walk around with guns. And I think that based on what this guy has done, the fact that he wasn't arrested is just beyond belief.
I've also read, done a little research on it, and I've read that, as far as, incidences of claims of self-defense and murders and things of that nature, those claims have doubled within the last 4 or 5 years since the actual law was enacted in 2006.
I'm hoping that some precedent is going to come out of this particular case, because I think there's been many along the way that have just gotten media attention, but nothing beyond that. And I'm hopeful that with all the activists involved in this one, that getting a little bit more publicity and enough is enough.
Black Students United will be having a moment of silence at their meetings for the rest of the semester to honor Trayvon Martin. For PTV, I'm Ashley Noble.
Thanks, Ashley. George Zimmerman has not been taken into custody, but the investigation on this case continues. LIU Post's Rainbow Alliance is coming up with new ways to spread diversity on campus. Jacqueline Favillaro spoke to members of the organization and other students about acceptance in the campus community.
The LIU Post Rainbow Alliance, a club to promote awareness in the LGBTQA community, has recently upped their game in promoting diversity on campus. But are LIU Post students responding?
Okay, well, our main program this semester is our drag show, and that's in the Tillis Atrium, and we're going to have 3 performers that we hired to come in and do a drag performance. We also have several movie nights every semester, and a few miscellaneous programs.
Since the whole gay marriage law passing, there's been a lot more accepting of it, even if people were, I don't want to say ignorant, but took a blind eye to it. They know more, there's more awareness out now. So
I see them all the time here, especially on Facebook, so I feel like they have done a very good job this semester.
Our goal as a club is to basically promote LGBTQ, just to kind of raise awareness about LGBTQ issues on campus, and to really promote ourselves and just to show everybody that we're just like everybody else, we're not any different.
We have a lot of programs. I know as an RA, we have a few RHDs that are lesbian and gay, and we throw different gender equality programs, so I think LIU Post is very accepting.
We like to think of ourselves as the diversity club more so than just, the gay club.
The Rainbow Alliance is currently celebrating 32 years of service to LIU Post. They meet on Mondays at 6:30 in Hillwood, room 106. For PTV, I'm Jacqueline Favillaro.
Sounds like students feel that LIU Post is embracing the differences and similarities among students. Let's check in on the latest sports news with Christian Arnold, who has an update on the Knicks' playoff chances and the results of the women's NCAA basketball finals.
Hello, I'm Christian Arnold, and your host for PTV Sports News. The New York Knicks suffered one of their toughest losses of the season last night, falling to the Indiana Pacers 112-104. The Knicks led by 15 points going into the fourth quarter, but in that final quarter, they were outscored 40-17 to go down with the loss. Carmelo Anthony tried his best to carry his team to victory as he racked up 39 points and 10 rebounds in the losing effort. Knicks guard J.R. Smith was thrown out of the game in the final minutes as he threw Pacers guard Leandro Barbaso to the ground fighting for a rebound. Forward Danny Granger led the way for his Pacers with 27 points, including 14 in the final quarter to put the Knickerbockers away. The Baylor University women's basketball team became the first team in NCAA history to go 40-0 last night. Baylor capped off their perfect season by beating Notre Dame by a score of 80-61 in the championship game. It was star junior center Brittany Griner who once again carried the bulk of the load for Baylor last night. Griner dominated the game with 26 points, 13 rebounds, and 5 blocks. After the game, Griner said, quote, "It meant everything everything for us to get it for Coach," referring to Baylor head coach Kim Mulkey and her battle with Bell's palsy. Baylor also received good news from Griner as she made it known that she is planning on returning to school next year for her senior season. The New York Mets and Yankees will face off in their final exhibition game of spring training today as they face each other at Steinbrenner Field. Freddie Garcia will be on the mound for the Yankees, and it will be Dylan G getting the start for the visiting New York Mets. This is the first time since 1996 that the Yankees will host the Mets in spring training. With rosters pretty much set for both teams, the big news is out of Yankees camp as this is rumored to be Andy Pettit's first preseason game back after coming out of retirement this offseason. Yankees manager Joe Girardi said that he hopes to use Pettit but will only use him if he's pretty sure Pettit is absolutely ready. The first pitch is set for noon Eastern today. And finally, the Rangers beat Philadelphia last night 5-3 and officially clinched their spot as the top team in the Eastern Conference. The Rangers have played great hockey all season and have now racked up 109 points on the year. Marian Gaborik tallied a goal, his 41st of the season, and an assist last night, and goalie Henrik Lundqvist recorded 37 saves in the win. For PTV Sports News, I'm Christian Arnold. Now back to Ronika.
Thanks, Christian. With baseball season right around the corner and Rangers the best team in hockey, with over 50 wins and 100 points, it's a good time to be a New York sports fan. With graduation quickly approaching, wouldn't it be great to have an unforgettable farewell? Matt Sauer is on a mission to find out what or who would make this graduation memorable.
Every year, LIU Post chooses a guest speaker for the commencement ceremony. With graduation less than a month away, let's hear who LIU Post students would pick as their speaker.
Bob Saget.
Why Bob Saget?
Because he's the man.
LaDainian Tomlinson from the New York Jets. Because he's really classy, he's never in trouble, he's never gotten in trouble with the media, with the NFL, he's always done the right thing, he gives tons and tons of money to charity. He's a classy guy, he's a great speaker too, he's really intelligent, and I love him.
Well, it's a tough choice. I'm gonna go with Gene Simmons from KISS. Because he's Gene Simmons. He can come out, he could probably offend half the universe, and he'll stick his tongue out that'll come all the way down to here. He'll say something really crazy.
I want Kanye West to come and be the speaker at our graduation, because he would grab the mic from the provost or whatever, and he'd be like, yo, hold up. LIU Post, I know y'all doing your graduation thing, but Old Westbury's is way better. So that's why I want Kanye West.
It'd be Kanye West because I want someone to interrupt him while he's giving such an amazing speech, and I want him to know what it feels like to be interrupted rudely, very, very rudely. So I choose Kanye West.
Definitely be Will Ferrell.
Why would it be Will Ferrell?
I heard him speak over at Harvard, and it was just really funny. You know, I figured after putting all that time and hard work and getting a degree, why not have it worthwhile at the end? You know.
I would pick Taylor Swift just because I think she's a really good role model for people of this generation, and she has really good music, so I would choose her.
I'm going to say Jay-Z because only he's a trendsetter, and most college students nowadays come from like lower to middle class families where it's pretty much nothing, no resources. And to make it like he did, I think that'd be something very impactful. Not even just as graduation, but just in general. So I say Jay-Z.
I guess if I had to choose one guy, it'd have to be my main man, Jersey Drake. I mean, he gives me so much inspiration, so I guess I'd have to go with Drake. And I think towards the end of the speech, he'd have to say his classic song, Miss Me. I just hope you miss me a little while I'm gone. Perfect way to end it. I love Drake on all of his songs, so he couldn't go wrong with that.
Good question, because I'm a sports guy, so right away I think athletes, but when it comes to graduation, probably somebody that's in the business of broadcasting, so I'm a broadcast major. So my personal choice, I would love like Al Michaels, because he's an awesome broadcaster and he's in the business, and I don't know, I think that'd be cool.
Well, definitely not Al Michaels. I think that's a terrible choice. I have two. I'm going to give you two.
Okay.
I'm going to say Lil B, because I think since our campus was voted one of the most socially awkward campuses, I think we should get the most socially awkward hip-hop artist. And I think we could kind of relate to one another. So I think he'd be good. And I also think Craig Carton would be a great choice. Someone like me who's into broadcasting, I look up to Craig Carton in my profession. I like the way he does this show on WFAN. I think he would be a very, very good guest to have. And he'd have some fun with it too, which is always good. I don't want to be bored.
Nicki Minaj.
And why would you want Nicki Minaj?
Because she has multiple personalities and can relate to everyone.
Kanye West, Lil B, and Nicki Minaj? That's just swag overload. For PTV, I'm Matt Sauer.
Thanks, Matt. Although luminaries such as President Barack Obama at Barnard University, Steve Carell at Princeton, and Katie Couric at the University of Virginia are already booked, students seem to have high hopes for some high-profile guest speakers for the LIU commencement. For PTV News, I'm your host, Ronika Copes.